Hey guys, Sunstreaker Wozza here, and welcome back to another weekend live stream. Where, yes, the thumbnail's a bit confusing, really, 'cause I don't know what to put for the thumbnail. But today, we're going to be opening the crystals from the event. It's been a good event. A bit of a chat about that. We'll also talk about some of the worst bots in the game. And the idea behind this is we're going to pass this on to SpaceX. So this is what the guys in my server have voted for and what they think are the worst bots in the game and need a serious improvement. So we're going to pass that on to them. Then we're going to talk a bit about combiners and the what not just like we know which combiners are good, we know which ones are poor, but we're going to be talking about different types of bases, different situations, and why certain combiners are good against certain layouts and why. And then, as you could probably see from the screen over there, we've actually just set up a merch store as well. So we'll be having a look at that. There's a few things in there time being. But yeah, we're going to add more. But if you have got any ideas, then hit me up in Discord. Any ideas that I like, then we'll get them sort of made up. Some things I can't really use. It depends. It depends on licensing. Depends on SpaceApe. It depends on the design. But yeah, if you've got any ideas, then hit me up on Discord. As you can probably see up there as well. We've done a bit of rebranding to SSW. If you've been on my YouTube, you can probably see that we've rebranded the site. And the idea behind that is that we're going to start doing Call of Duty as well. If you go onto my YouTube, my Activision account ID's on there, so you can add me on Call of Duty. And I think the idea eventually is that I'm going to do some Call of Duty gaming, and you guys in my Discord and my viewers will be able to add me and just say, hey, it's such a person from YouTube, and I will literally like set up a game. We could do some games where we can do our own private matches. We can go online. So yeah, it's going to be pretty cool to do something different on the channel other than Earth Wars. And just something else, like I said, we can do more interactive with you guys, really. Because like with Earth Wars, it's quite hard to interact with you guys in the game because you're stuck in alliance, you war all the time. Wars are really important for top alliances, and I've not got really a Decepticon account, so it's not fair for Decepticon players to be able to play with them. It was really hard, and that's what really spurred me on to say, you know what, I'm going to play Call of Duty, I'm going to play some of the games, and then I can start playing with members, I'm going to start playing with people, and I'm going to start doing something like that. But we'll say a few hellos first, and then we'll get into the stream. Anyway, so let's see who we've got. So, the Crusher 11, one of our moderators is first. So, welcome. Hammertail, Action Whale, a lot of the regular crew. We've got Bruticus, one of our members. Welcome, welcome, welcome. He's now got the yellow emblem, which I think is 2 months is it, as a member. I think I'm wrong, but I think so, yeah. So, hey, thanks. Air Elf as well. Yes, I appreciate I did do like an early notification. The idea that was just so that people can get an advance notice of when the streams will be starting. Did you like it? Did you not? Do you like me to do it last minute more? Or do you like the sort of build up of, say, 90 minutes before going, oh yeah, in 90 minutes, was the streams on? I don't know. What do you think? Chris Lewis, another one of my members. Hey, don't forget, guys, if you want to be a member, it starts at like $2 a month, something like that. $2 a month gets you the emojis, gets you in the chat where you get advance notice of all my streams and what we're going to be talking about and the thumbnails, little bits like that. And then all the way up to obviously the platinum members. The platinum members get all that as well. They'll get priority on any comments. And also we're going to be doing giveaways for iTunes and Google Play vouchers for just for platinum members. So I think it's $9 a month to be a platinum member, but then every couple of months we're doing like $30 giveaways. So chances are that you might actually even get your money back. So yeah. Nick Lang Yates as well. How's it going? Fitz19, Jason Rowley, Rick O'Shea, Dirk Manis, Matt Poler. We've got Righteous, one of our mods. Sharks, one of our mods. Thanks for posting the link. You got the member link there. You got a Discord link, YouTube link. I think we're gonna have to add the merch store link into that as well. But yeah, we'll sort it out later. Volcanica69, William Wilkinson, Autobot Phil. How's it going? We've got Zab Reaper. Soldier, make sure you go and check out Soldier's channel, guys. Does a lot of Earth Wars content, a lot of giveaways. Pretty cool guy. My good friend Grind Time as well. Obviously, go and check his channel out. If you don't know his channel already through mine, then where have you been? Come on, guys. Go on, hit that subscribe button on Grind Times channel. Air Elf, Bossman, Dojack, anyone else? Chris Taylor. Alpha Tryon, how's it going? Garrett, welcome again. Windblade. Oh, it just skips ahead again. It does this every so often towards the end. And Randall, Hamilton, and Victory Starsaber. I think that's everyone. If I missed anyone, then apologies. Oh, WMD Cyclops as well. Just missed you as well. Yeah. I can see SG Soundwave has put, Wozza, you need to have a meme with your face on it. Basically, I tried that. I thought about that. But the problem was that the size of the picture was too small. When it sort of made bigger, it wasn't good. So what I'm going to do is I've got a plan. I've got an idea. Stay tuned. But I thought, do people really want a picture of my face on the front? I mean, if people want it, then I'll make it. But I've tried to do designs that are, quite Earth Wars related without being really branded towards me. I think that's the way forwards, really. Because I think if you're walking down the street and people are like, "What's SSW?" Massive things. It's like, "Oh, it's Sunstreaker Wozza." Like, who's that guy? Whereas if it's something, quite specific to Earth Wars, you can say, "Oh, it's about the game that I play." No, I play Earth Wars, and this is the YouTuber. So I thought about doing a bit of branding like that, really. So the branding is a bit generic as such, and then the branding is just smaller for my channel at the top as well. But yeah, they're pretty cool designs. I took some designs from elsewhere and sort of brought them in. So yeah, the prices I've sort of done the best I can. I mean, it's not, I wouldn't say it's expensive, but it's not cheap either. But obviously it's hard because they have to take a cut and they pay for packaging and things like that as well. So I think it's about the same as what Skywalk Graze is, to be fair. I think you remember him saying that it was it was difficult, you know, to do it without getting much, making much money in it. Really, you don't make a lot as much as you think, honestly. Righteous support. I need to make a baseball cap with my logo. That's a good idea, actually. Yeah, that's not a bad idea. I'd definitely do that. I'd probably wear it as well on my streams. But yeah, the idea is like later this month, I'm gonna order some merch and then I'm gonna start wearing it on stream. That's the idea. Yeah. Okay, so we'll have a look at the merch store, like I said, and then we'll go through the top 10 worst bots, go through the combined, and then do a bit of crystal popping. So apologies if the camera disconnects. I've had no problems with it for weeks now, and it's just disconnected now, so I'm not too sure why, but we'll see. We'll see. I'll have to look into it, but yeah. I can see Grant has put, you need Pew Pew merch. I can, but the problem is we can't put Smokescreen on it because Smokescreen is a Transformers licensed product, so you can't have anything that's licensed by Transformers, so no Transformers allowed on it. But you can see here, so this is one of my designs that I liked. It says, I just 300 your base. Nope. Your mum. I just 300 your mum. So yeah, I thought it was pretty funny, pretty clever. Yeah. I'm sure some people won't appreciate that, but hey. And then we've got this one, obviously, Eat, Sleep, Raid, Repeat. From the obviously Eat, Sleep, Rave, Repeat, but we'll change it to Raid with the Raid sort of insignia in the background. So yeah, we've done that design as well. And then we've got just a Transformers Earth Wars t-shirt with the Transformers Earth Wars sort of logo in the background. You got my logo at the top there. And then we've got the Will Play for Cybercoins with a little Cybercoin emblem on. I think we've got a jumper so we can see it better with that actually. Yeah, we've got a jumper there as well. Will Play for Cybercoins. So, yeah, if there's any designs that you think aren't on there or anything like that, then let me know. A particular colour that you're missing, then just, let me know. If there's any colours you're missing, say you want this hoodie in red with a different design, then I can make that quite easy. I've got the designs made up already, and I can sort of change that. So, how much in euros? What for? You'd have to go on. If you go on the site, I can maybe post a link. I could post a link there, I think. There's a link to it, and that'll probably put it up in euros, I think. So yeah. See, yeah, raids are not for everyone. That's why I know the t-shirts there. I thought someone really love it, some will hate it. But yeah, so pretty cool design. I've got a couple more that I'm in the middle of doing. But yeah, like I said, if there's anything you want a certain thing, if you want this on a mug, or if you want this on a t-shirt, or you want this in different color, then all you have to do is hit me up on Discord and say, listen, I really want to buy this t-shirt. Can you make this color available? And then I will literally do it, and I will say to you, yep, sure, no problem. Give me whatever. We'll do it. It's gone up in dollars. Well, let's have a look. Hang on. Uh, dollars to euros. $1 is 85 euros. So it's talking about 20 euros for a t-shirt. Probably about 38 euros for a hoodie. And about 11 or 12 euros for a mug. So yeah, $45 is about 38 euros, I think, something like that. So boxer shorts. I don't think you can do boxer shorts. I don't think I can. It's just certain products that we can do. I know we can do jumpers, t-shirts, mugs, mouse mats, things like that. But again, hit me up on Discord, private message me if there's anything particular that you want, anything you think you'd like to see, and I'll see what I could do. I want to add some more, so I want to make it a full page of this merch now, and give some more options, which is in the works, guys. But yeah, that's the idea. Okay, cool. So now we're going to talk about the worst bots in Earth Wars. Now, what I want you to do, guys, I want you to we're going to do a competition. So if you could get all the top 5 of the worst bots in the game, then you will win a Sunstreaker Wozza Stash Crystal. So put in the chat what you think will be the top 5 worst bots in the game. Now, you've all given your opinions on Discord. Thank you to everyone that joined in. We did a competition for those that joined in a while back. It's been a long time coming. But now we're going to do, like I said, we're going to do the video on this. So put in your chat, put in the chat the 5 you think will be the top 5 bots, top worst bots in the game. And SG Soundwaves put, we all know who the worst is. Yeah, one vote, we all know. That's why I was going to do top 3, but I was like, we all know what number 1's going to be. We know. So there's only 2 you got to guess. So let's do top 5. So the worst 5 bots in the game. What you think? Not just what you think. What you think will be what's been the most voted top 5 worst bots in the game. And then we'll go through it, and I'm sure that Sharksy or someone else can take some screenshots, and then we'll give some codes away. And yes, Asa Crusher 11 has put, you've even changed your name in Earth Wars. Yes, SSW is the new branding, so everything will be SSW. I mean, I'll always be Sunstreaker Wozza to everyone that's in my channel, and I'm not sort of getting rid of that name. I mean, my name is Wozza, so that's not going anytime soon. And Sunstreaker has a a special place in my heart because of it's been my IGN throughout, and it's still my IGN even in Call of Duty. But SSW just to shorten it, just make it a bit easier. But yeah, want to call me SSW, call me Sunstreaker Was, call me whatever you want, really. Call me worse than that. So let's have a look. So who we got? So SG Soundwaves put Nose Cone, Dust Up, Lightspeed, Sluggan, Ironhide. Crush 11, Nose Cone, Lightspeed, Cliff Jump, Power Glide, and Dust Up. Grindside reckons Dust Up, Power Glide, Nose Cone, Streetwise, and Lightspeed. Autobot Phil reckons Nose Cone, Dust Up, Power Glide, Sideswipe, and Lightspeed as well. Nose Cone, Magna, Ironhide, Jumpstream, and Dust Up. I'll give it a couple of minutes just to get everyone to get the guesses in, and then we'll sort of go through it. But like I said, the idea behind this is that we're gonna pass this on to the apes and say, listen, this is what the guys are voting for. This is the bots that if the guys want to see improved. These are the ones. I love it when people put Decepticon version. I'm like, which one's that again? But yeah, in the meantime, we'll pop some crystals now while everyone's getting the votes in. We'll pop some crystals. So, we've got 15 beat star chests where we can get up to a 4-star combat. And my feedback was a bit weird about this. I don't understand how we have no 4-star combat events for 18 months. And then we're like, you have a 4-star combat, you have a 4-star combat, you have a 4. Everyone has a 4-star combat. And people get 4 in one event or 3. I know some people got none. But I don't understand that. Why not have a guaranteed 4-star combat at, say, 800k? I mean, 300k is a short event. And I get it's to, it's promote beat star, and I kind of get the idea behind it, a bit of promotion. But then just have a 4-star combat event. Just have a guaranteed 4-star combat, and you won't get the people that are complaining that they didn't get none, then the people that get 4. It's just a bit crazy, isn't it? Let's be honest. Yeah, the Crusher said that you got 0. That's what I mean. Like, just do a guaranteed 4-star combat. I said it's stale. I said, why is it that combats are considered the most premium currency in the game? And then all of a sudden, they go, there you go, there's a chance of getting 4. I don't get it. Just do a guaranteed 4-star event every month. Job done. There you go. Okay, so we've got 3 G metals first. So we're hoping for a wallbuster. What's I hoping for? Or one of the healing cores for the base cores. That's what we're hoping for. Oh, any buildbot cores with her. Oh, what's that? Glass mine? Oh, I've only got gold of them. So that's not too bad. That's not a disaster. I do use them still, so not bad. Oh, Force Field Disruptor. Yeah, that's pretty good actually. I could do one of them. I think I've got one of them in G metal already. That's pretty good. Come on, Wallbuster. Wallbuster for sludge. Hey! Zone heal. I'm quite pleased with that. We've got 3 buildbot cores. That's quite impressive. I'm quite happy with that. Right, let's open these now. See what we get. 3-star stripes. What if our current luck? Probably not much. 3-star flak. 3-star spore sport. 3-star night stalker. 4-star Traxodon. 3-star flak. 3-star glitch. 3-star spoil sport. 3-star dial. And hey, 4-star red heat. 2 4-stars, not bad. I'll take that. I will take that. Does that give us stripes as well? Does that give us? Well, look in a minute. It might give us an extra 4-star stripes as well, guaranteed. I know we're pretty close. 3-star rung. 3-star fire drive. 3-star fire drive. 3-star glitch. Can we get a 4-star on our last one? Can we? No. 3-star flak. I'll take that though. 2 4-stars is pretty good still. I'll take that. Oh, we got 2. Oh. We've got a flak 4-star. I'll take that. Thank you very much. And then we've got a... Oh, so we've got a stripes, is it? Yeah, we got a stripes one as well. Cool. Guaranteed 4-star stripes. I'll take that. Thank you. Guaranteed 4-star flak. I'll take that. Thank you. And then if we look at the crystals, see where we're up to. Not bad. We've hit 3,000 shards. So month or 2, we should have another 5-star combat. But that's for another day. We'll talk about that another day. We've got a action-packed stream today. So that's another day. Okay. So I think everyone's got their votes in. That's it now. So no more votes, guys. The voting is closed. So top worst bots. I mean, when you look at my bots, I mean, this says it all really. I was a bit surprised at a few of the votes. I mean, I had Sea Spray in there. I can't believe people voted for Sea Spray. I mean, there's some bots that are quite bad. But I can't believe people voted for Sea Spray. That Sea Spray could be one of the worst bots in the game. Who else was I a bit surprised at? Bumblebee. I was a bit surprised at. Bumblebee got quite a few votes. I mean, Bumblebee is on my war team. I think it's so cheap. I mean, he has had a bit of a buff. So surprised by that. Some people voted for RC. I think RC is a great bot. Maybe not as good as Rug. Doesn't mean one of the worst in the game though. Just because there's someone better, doesn't mean she's one of the worst. Grimlock. I don't think Grimlock as well is one of the worst. I would say he's amazing. Rust Dust, Hotspot. You know, these bots all got votes for worst bots. Wheeljack. Someone voted for Wheeljack. What? I think he's one of the best healers in the game. I mean, wow. You can't say that Wheeljack's one of the worst bots in the game. I don't get that. Drift, I mean, he's bad as a 5-star, but worse in the game? Christian Cruz has put Hot Rod. No, no, no. Hot Rod is overpowered to hell at ability 11. Maybe before that, not quite as good. But you put a combat on him is a lot better. If you improve his range, he's a lot better as a bot. But yeah, some vote for Red Alert as well. Red Alert's a really good bot. You know, there's some really strange choices. I think that was it. I think Dynabot. A lot of voted for Dynabot. I wouldn't say Dynabot is that bad. You know, there's some bots that aren't quite as good. Primal, people voted for. You know, I don't. Again, Sunstreaker, someone voted for. Again, some of these votes, I don't get where you're coming from. I really don't. I mean, granted, again, they're not the best in the game. Some of them, they're okay, but I wouldn't say they're the worst. I mean, Oxus Primal, I would not say one of the worst bots in the game. There's better 5-stars out there, but there's worse 5-stars as well that I don't want. But let's be honest, we're pulling them to get the good ones. So, you know, there's always, you know, it's all difficult bots. There's always poor bots in the game. But, okay, top 10. So, in 10th place, I'm not surprised this guy's in the top 10. He's been quite poor for quite a while. Had a recent buff as well, but still don't make him relevant. It sort of ties in with another bot, and that's Pipes. Pipes is at number 10, and I've had my Pipes at level around 51 for about 2 years, and I have no interest in investing in him at all. Really poor, even with his buff. The shield part of it helps, but like I said, I was in playtest today talking about rushing bots, and I said I will never play rushing bots. I do not like them, and I get that you can rush them into position where you want them, and that's a good strategy to use. But other than that, they're rushing away from your team half the time and going into danger. And when they've got that shield, they're brilliant. Fine, no problem. But once they've lost that shield, then he's not that good, really. Rushing bots tend to suffer a bit. So, you know, I understand Pipes being in there. In 9th place, I don't actually even have this guy as a 4-star, so that gives you a big clue. And in development, he was massively overpowered, and when we sort of balanced him, we said this is too powerful, and then he got absolutely nerfed, absolutely destroyed, and I was quite disappointed really because he's in one of my favorite episodes. And it turned out okay. He can be good in some situations, but not all. And yeah, if you haven't guessed it already, that guy is Brainstorm. Brainstorm is at number 9. Brainstorm and Skyhawk. So yeah, he's okay on a walk team. He's not bad, but he's not great. He's a poor man's air raid. Let's be honest. Um, you know, I'm not a big fan, especially of speed reduction. You'll see a common theme here that speed reduction isn't well, you know, perceived by the player base, and Brainstorm's part of that. I mean, his damage is incredible. I mean, I'd love to have the 4-star leveled up for you guys to show. I'd love to be able to show you on the test server, but I've had a few problems with the test server at the minute. But yeah, Brainstorm just doesn't quite hit it for me. He's decent. He's all right. He's not awful. But yeah, I'd rather pick Air Raid all day than Brainstorm. In ninth place, this guy's had a campaign going to be improved by a certain YouTuber, not myself, and did get an improvement quite recently, but not to the scale that we wanted. He was improved in line with all other Russian bots, but he still struggles. He still really struggles. And that guy's Ironhide. You know, he's had his recent buff. You know, blocks 80% of damage and leaves a magnetic pulse to disable things behind him. But why would you want to disable things behind you? That's what I don't get. We said this from the start in playtest. I said, you know, why would you want to disable things behind you? We'll rush the target and disable things in an area. That was my idea. I think that'd work quite well. If he rushed and had like a stun like Bumblebee, I think that would be pretty good. But yeah, Ironhide for me is not that good. I can see people that are disagreeing in the chat. I'd say outside of the top five, they all were pretty close. They all had between 5 and 10 votes, I'd say, out of like 300 votes. So not a lot of people voted for him, but obviously more than everyone else because everyone voted for number one. And we know it's going to be. But yeah, you'll start to see as we go through now, you'll agree with more and more. That's what I feel anyway. That the bottom few, I was like, yeah, I can sort of see that a bit going up. And then as I got further, I was like, yeah, I can't deny that. The next one, I was super disappointed with. This is one of my favourite bots in Transformers lore. He made an appearance in the cartoon recently, in the series. And I really love this character. I had the toy as a kid. I've still got the toy upstairs now with some parts missing, but loved it as a kid. I think it was my first triple changer, I think. When I got it, I was just mesmerized because it was something new, something different. And that guy is Double Dealer. And this guy again was in playtest and was ridiculously overpowered to the fact that he could solo a Zone 15 base. And it got scaled back so much that it just became awful. And I was really disappointed that this guy came out underpowered. And you know, I would love for this guy to be you know, buffed again and improved, but I just can't see it. The apes just, even today I've talked to apes in the past about it, and they're like, well, it's not that bad. I'm like, he really is that bad. He really is. And this is probably out of the 10, this is probably the one I'm most disappointed by in terms of playtesting, because this was one guy that I wanted to be really good. You've got to balance it, but he's one of my real fan favorites. I'd say one of my, definitely in my top 5 bots of all time, outside of Earth Wars. I'm talking about Transformers lore. He's definitely in my top 5 of all time. So I was really, you know, I was really disappointed really by him. He should have been a lot better than what he is for a triple changer. And I think, is he the worst triple changer in the game? He's not as good as Skylinks. He's not as good as Springer. I'm trying to think of the other triple changers. I don't think he's as good as Snapdragon either. So yeah, I think he could be the worst triple changer in the game. And I think, yeah, Silverbox just put that as well, just by chance. Maybe. Is there a worse triple changer? That's a good question to ask. Okay, next in the list. I was quite surprised by this guy. I mean, I don't use this guy at all. Again, I don't have him as a 4-star, so another clue. But yeah, I was quite surprised by this guy. I thought this guy was quite well, you know, perceived by, you know, by the player base, but obviously not. Dead quick. I can see people saying Sandstorm. I rate Sandstorm above Double Dealer all day. His healing is ridiculous. Just the cost is a bit high, but I'd say Double Dealer's worse. But yeah, I can see the thing here. But anyway, but yeah, I was really surprised by this guy in the top 10. So honestly, I thought he was quite well perceived. When he came out, I think he was balanced quite well. I think he was okay, and well, apparently not. And that guy is Trailbreaker. Trailbreaker at number 3. Sorry, at number 6. Yes, Trailbreaker at number 6. I was really surprised at this. I thought Trailbreaker was quite good. But maybe not. I think there's worse bots out there. I can see SG Soundwaves put Punch being in the top 5. Yeah, I agree. He's definitely not now. I mean, since his buff has been amazing, that's what I want to see. I want to see more buffs. And I've said this to the apes, that there's too many bots that have got through playtesting that aren't as good and need improving. And because they're overworked, I mean, I believe they took on more staff so that they can do more things and they can improve more things, which is a good sign for the future. And I'm hoping that, every month they can, they can buff an old bot in some way. And I can see people already are going, yeah, Trailbreaker's trash. I was just quite surprised. I thought it was quite well perceived. But again, this is you guys voting for this. It's not me. This is not my top 10. I think my top 10 would be quite different. But yeah, I think that he could have been a bit better than what he was, really. Okay, so now we're into the top 5, the part that everyone wants to hear. So this is, don't forget, this is on your guesses now. So obviously, if you've guessed any of the bots that we've had already, then yeah, you're not one. So, and yeah, it was quite intriguing to see who was at 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. I mean, we all know what 1 is without even seeing it. But yeah, 2 to 5 was interesting. And it actually ties in with playtesting. So we'll talk about that when we finish the top 10. And we'll go from there as well. And then we got number 5, we've got Powerglide. Really, really poor bot for me. I know he had ability 11, and I talked a lot about him with the apes, saying that he needs improvement, and I fought and fought and fought and fought and fought and fought to improve Powerglide, but they were having none of it. They were saying, no, we're just doing a bit 11, we're not improving the bot, and I was like, it's not good enough. It's really not, and I get that this is why Jetfire flies in the arc as Powerglide does. I didn't realise that all the jets do this, but because Powerglide drops in a target like that, that's why I don't really rate Jetfire's ability 11 for the same reason that it drops it in a line and it's not in a straight line, it's in a curve, and it's just a bit uneven damage. So Powerglide, although I mean when they did the damage calculation, it looks really high because you're like, wow, he does like 8,000 damage. Yeah, but it's not 8,000 isn't a flat damage. It's X amount each target, but each rocket doesn't hit each target. It's quite a wide area. So it was in fact about a quarter of what the damage was saying. It looks at 8,000. I was like, maybe I got this bot wrong when it was maxed out. And I tried it. It did like 1.5k damage. I was like, right, yeah, that's awful. It shows 8,000 on the screen, and hence why they changed it to showing the actual damage that it does to most targets. And yeah, it's just massively underpowered, not consistent, and just really really poor. And I've had this guy from pretty much when the game began. This is it all really. This guy's still level 47. I mean, there's some bots that I've had that amount of time, the same amount of time, like Ironhide. That's not that good. Level 54. Like Ultra Magnus, who's level 56. Like Prowl, 56, Skydive, 57. So these bots I've had since the start of the game. And just I've leveled them up at one time when it's like to level 50, and then I've slow leveled them in the last couple of years. Even like Optimus, I've never really power leveled him. All these bots are late 40s. It says it a lot when you've got a bot that's been here since the game's conception. That is so low. And yeah, just if you got him, I wouldn't invest in him at all at any level in the game. Don't bother. And then the next guy, I'm not surprised in there. In playtest, I think the words I used were either trash or awful. That is literally the words I used. Not, I think could be improved. I said, this bot is trash. This bot is awful. I'm going to be disappointed if I pull this guy. I will never use him. And that still stands. I never use this bot, even in my leveling teams. It doesn't even fill a spot because he's that poor. And when I said to the apes, I would like X improvement, they said, sorry, he's a support bot. He's not there for damage. And that shows that it doesn't support anything. And again, it incorporates slow, which we don't really want in the game. We don't think it's relevant. We don't think it's good. It could be overpowered. It was more powerful, but it's not. And that guy is Lightspeed. So Lightspeed rushes to target, does 70% speed reduction, and then does damage to the final target. But the damage to the final target is pretty woeful. And yeah, I was disappointed right from playtest. I really was. And yeah, not a good bot at all. The only fact that I went for him and got him was because of Computron. Plain and simple. I think there's too many bots that are part of Computron that we've gone for because they're poor, but because they make Computron up, which is one of the better combiners in the game. So, it was absolutely appalling. But yeah, it was quite, yeah, it was quite soul destroying to say to the apes before it even come out. This is awful. This is trash. No one's gonna like it. And the apes were like, well, is what it is. They disagreed with me. And I do like the fact that 90% of the time I'm right. I think the 10% you can account for Sea Spray. When I said that Sea Spray was one of the worst 5 stars in the latest batch, I was wrong about that. I'll put my hands up and say, yep, I was wrong. I can't think of other times I really got it wrong that much, really. I definitely got it wrong with Sea Spray, though. I was quite impressed when he came out. But yeah. SG Soundwave put Hoist as a healer and all healers are good. Yeah, well, yeah. I can't say whether obviously Hoist is in the list yet or not. I mean, you should know by now, but yeah. And then Grantan's put the top 8 on a team and let's see what they can do. The top 8. The top, you mean the 8 worst bots in a team? No, I won't even try. I wouldn't even bother. Honestly, I would not even bother. Especially not this level. I mean, I could level them up on the test server, but let's not talk about test server. I've had some problem. We'll talk about that later on. And so, in third place, I 100% agree with this. This guy would be number 2 for me. Well, I say guy. This girl. This girl would be number 2 for me. And those that know my channel well, this will give it away. I chased this girl for a long time just to fill a combiner. And so woeful. Never even bothered trying. I fought for a G1 core. I fought for it. Nope. Did not improve them at all. And still woeful, woeful, woeful. And that is Dust Up, of course. Really, really awful bot in third place. And I feel really sorry for Dust Up and Vortex because they've been so bad for so long. And they've never, ever became part of the meta. They've always been this bad. And they need a seriously... All they need is a boost in damage. That's all they need. And I get they're not going to be... I mean, look at Rustos. Rustos does twice damage. 3 times damage that Dust Up does. And is still considered awful. Rustos is not great. She's okay. But Dust Up, just about a third of the damage. It's ridiculous. I mean, just awful. Really, really awful. I mean, as a 5-star, I don't think that bad as a 5-star, really, to be honest with you. It sounds crazy, but at the top level, do about 4k damage over a huge, which is about 2k really, but the way the Earth wars are going, we could talk about that. We are going to talk about later, but we could talk about how Dust Up would help that. For the cheap cost, maybe that is the future of the game, but at the minute, really, really poor bot in third place. Really poor. And in second place, so this was a topic of conversation in playtest recently when we're talking about metas and we're talking about combos in the game, and again talking about top wars. That was a reason for it. Which would again I don't want to touch on that too much. We'll talk about that later on. But this guy got brought up, and someone said, "We'll just use this bot to combo with another bot," and we're like, "No." And then someone said, well, yeah, well, that sounds... I think it was Dale actually said, that sounds a really good ability. And everyone was like, nope, nope, it's awful. It is appalling. No one uses it. And Dale was like, whoa, like, I can't believe the animosity. And everyone was like, nope, it's awful. It's rubbish. No, it needs a buff. It needs changing. This needs doing to it. And everyone sort of jumped on the bandwagon, and it was quite funny to see. And that bot is Cliff Jumper. We were talking about Glass Gas. Now, Glass Gas, in essence, 40% damage in an area sounds immense, but with his health is ridiculous. The range isn't great. It's just really poor. It could be so good. It could be. I mean, I get it that when you hear about Glass Gas, you think, oh, Glass Gas sounds ridiculously overpowered, but it just doesn't work. I don't get it. And that shows when Dale was like, oh, that sounds a great ability. 40% damage in an area. That's a great combo bot. We're like, no. It's never been good. But yeah, so it's it's a shame really. The Cliff Jumper again has been here since the games began. So, and he's still not good. Still not good. And he's still quite poor. So I think it just needs a buff in range. I think I get that if you buff the range, then you can couple it with other bots and it can be ridiculously good. I kind of get it, but it's borderline right now. Even if you just buff it, a slight bit more, you know. I can see Grand Times put what's it fair? Cliff Jumper always dies. Yeah, he does it fair, yeah. And SG Soundwave sounds like he's just missed out and voted for Ironhide instead of Cliff Jumper. But yes, and number one. So, and I know that obviously no one knows what number one is. I know that no one's got a clue. I'll be honest with you. When I started doing this, I started making numbers on, all the bots um, that were chosen. And with this bot, I gave up. I just stopped halfway through. I was like, right, I'm not even going to count the votes because I know they're going to win. So, and obviously, no doubt, we know this guy is Nose Cone. I mean, Aladdin's 51, ready for his buff because Nose Cone's got to get a buff first. I mean, the Apes have even said that, and it's still. This bot has been in the game for a year, and I get in certain situations he can be crazy good, but it just needs to be improved now and hurry up and get it done. Because I mean, I'll show you this. This is my voting system where I just put a little tick down, I put a little line down every time someone voted, so you can see that at the bottom there, you can see there. I saw the bots there, and at the top, Nose Cone. I don't even know how many votes it is. I mean, I did one line. Most of the lines I got one line, and then a few bit more. Cliff Jumper got that. Dust Up filled a line. But Nose Cone just stole the show. Nose Cone just stole the show, ridiculously good. So, absolutely ridiculously. So, yeah, Nose Cone is a ridiculously poor bot. It's obvious, really, isn't it? It's obvious. But yeah, they were the worst 5 bots. So just to recap, because someone just asked on the screen, in 5th place was Power Glide and Cyclonus. In 4th place was Lightspeed and Iron Bison. Iron Bison, yeah. 3rd place, Dust Up and Vortex. 2nd place is Cliff Jumper, and 1st place is obviously Nose Cone and Drill Horn that need improving. So yes, definitely. So that's the top 5 worst bots in the game. So I'm going to pass that on to the Apes, and we'll see what they can do with it. Hopefully. But yeah, if you've got the top 5 right, then hit me up on Discord and just say, hey, was I guess the worst. I say top 5 worst bots, which sounds a bit weird. But yeah, just say I guessed all the 5. I guess the top 5, whatever you want to put. Just say, hey, I guessed all the 5. And yeah, just hit me up on Discord. And thank you to Sharks again for sorting that out for me. Appreciated. Okay, so I want to talk a bit again about we touched upon it in the top 5 there and discussing it. So I want to touch upon wars and the big questions. So the big questions I'll put in the chat. So I'm going to make a statement first. Then I'm going to explain the reasons for and against. Then you guys tell me which one you prefer. So we're talking about hard mode in Prime League only. We're not talking about any other leagues. We're not talking about Cyber. We're not talking about anything else. We're talking about Prime League hard. So yes, I know a lot of players won't be fighting in that sort of league, but you will understand the premise. So the saying that we keep saying is hard mode needs to be hard. Hard mode should be hard. That's what we keep going over. That's what we keep playing. Anytime someone says, well, is this going to be too hard? Hard mode needs to be hard. Hard mode should be hard. That is what we're going for. So, it got onto a point where we were talking one-shot bots. And we were talking about, we want to maybe make it a lot harder for bots to be used, like Blades and like Tracks and like Goldfire and other bots. And we said that, one-shot should still be able to one-shot. But then the discussion was, why should one-shot still one-shot? Why can't one-shots have to have a combo? Why should one-shots always one-shot? Because if they could always one-shot, the HP has always got to be there. Which means the same time going throughout the base is going to be the same unless you improve walls and resource buildings. But then that nerfs like a sludge. It even Nose Cone even more. So if you raise wall HP, it nerfs even more bots. It nerfs Hound even. I know a lot of people don't use Hound, but it even nerfs Hound if it came out as a 5-star. So No matter what you do, you're gonna not, you're gonna really annoy someone. But the question should be then is, should one shots one shot in hard mode, Prime League hard? Should one shots be able to one shot? And that was a big discussion. And that's why we started talking about using the likes of Cliff Jumper so they take more damage, but his range is not that good. So you can't really use one shots in long range like jets. But, have jets become overpowered in the game for that reason? Because, if you're making a base super, super hard and a jet can pretty much take out anything on the base at any one time, then that makes it easy, doesn't it? Taking out an MDS, taking out a mortar, taking out a key structure, taking damage, or doing a lot of damage to your team. Doesn't that make it easy? So should hard mode make it hard so you can't one shot anymore? Does that just nerf too many bots? Because maybe you're focusing on tracks, but then obviously you're gonna nerf all one shots, not just likes of Jetfire, but maybe likes of Prowl as well and Jazz. You know, so So SG Soundwave have put one shots need to become two shots. Well, I think that's maybe a harsh two shot, but yeah. Hammertail's put one shot bot should not be nerfed in my opinion. Their ability points and waste is enough to one building. Seen by only butler bot does AoE. That's their natural nerf. But don't forget this is only hard mode. On Prime. This is not any other. This is not Cyber. This is not normal Prime League. This is not Gold. This is not Caminus. This is not anything else. Platinum. This is just a hard mode of raising the HP of buildings. And Silverbolt's put, and what's the point of getting them to one shot? So you can combo them with another bot. That's the idea. Eros put, increase the cost. The problem is if you increase the cost, that increase the cost in every league. We don't want that. We don't want to make lower leagues harder. We just want to make Prime League harder. Prime League hard. Ratchet support where you get anti-air. Well, yeah, you don't. I've got anti-air on my base, and they don't even kill them. They just take about half the health off, if that. Anti-air doesn't work. You could buff anti-air, but again, then you're nerfing jets at every single level. So, yeah. Silverballs put, then you just broke jets. But, yeah, were jets broken already? Goldfire's broken. Blades is broken. Trax is broken. Jets are borderline. They are really powerful. They can take out any key structure pretty much. We've got to try and make it. I mean, for those that are saying now that you don't nerf jets, then what's the solution then? How do we make it so players get through the bases slower? We need to increase damage to bots. We need to slow down bots. We need to look at a way to stop sacrifice because that doesn't, that's just so overpowered. It's ridiculous. We need a counter for blades. We need a counter for even punch. You need a counter for tracks. I mean, there's just so many bots that are super powerful at the minute. Base design is, ridiculously poor. And, this again, but the problem is though, is that we understand that at lower levels, players don't really enjoy wars as much. And they need to be encouraged still by keeping them what they are. So they won't be changed. It's more the top level guys. Hammer tells pop because then no one in the top 5 would recommend jets to other players, even though that's their use. Even so, I still don't think one shots are super popular. Well, Hammertail, I've got a one shot on my team. I've got a 5-star Jetfire on my team. I think most people got a jet in the top teams. This guy's been on my war team since I got him. I actually chased this guy for that one same reason. Hence why I got 5-star top shot on him because it was crazy amount of DPS. So really good. But again, I mean, there's times where I've suggested bots to people and I've said, this bot, don't use this bot, and everyone's gone, no, like Elita. I hate Elita. I don't think Elita's really that relevant in higher leagues, but I know in lower leagues she's like the king. She's like the best bot there is. So it depends on perception really as well. Silbot put raise HP and defenses. Well, that's the point. That's what we're gonna do. We're raising HP. If you raise HP on defenses, they can't one shot anymore. At the minute in Prime League Hard, I think it's on 10%. I think 20% was the max we can go to, and we tested it on 20%, and it was still easy. It was still really easy. I mean, we took 30% HP. It was still really easy, and then we're at a point where we're like, well, now we can't one shot. We're like, but it's still easy. We can still get through with 40 seconds left. So that's the point. We're not going to nerf the Jets. We're looking at raising HP so that they can't one shot. I should maybe make that clearer. You know. Yeah, Grant has put Alita as the queen. Like, yeah, I get that. Yeah, fair point. Hammer tells put the counter would be to increase the effects. You can only have 5 effects at a time. And it is, again, I want to stress this. It's only in Prime League Hard. It's not even in Prime League. It's only in Hard mode. Laser 83 put Prime League Hard, no combiners allowed. Well, we thought about that, we discussed it. But the problem with that is, then why would you ever go and chase bots to get a combiner? New combiner comes out, well, why do I need it? Why do I need a combiner? I can't use it. And you can say for Zen and that, but people use combiners for wars, basically, in top levels. You know. Matches put reduce range for launchers, cannons, and beams. Mean increase the range, I presume. Increase the range for launchers, cannons, and beams. They will tear things up from a distance. Yeah, but if you can one-shot them for distance, then they won't. If you can one-shot, you know, beams and launchers with blades or with Jetfire, then again, doesn't matter how powerful you make them. You can add 300% DPS to these defenses. If you can take them out, then what's the point? What's the point in increasing DPS? These are the things we can discuss in playtest. There's no right or wrong answer. There's always a counter for everything. Every sort of thing you come up with, there's always someone that will bring a counter out. You know. Areas put in upgrade buildbot effects on hard mode. That's already going to happen. That is going to happen no matter what. The build bots will have 2 effects. They'll have the core that they put on and then a separate effect as well, which we're sort of discussing at the minute. Build bot health will also go up ridiculously high. I think we're looking at 7,000 health for build bots. Yes, 7,000. I did say 7,000. But again, if we're going to really make build bots that powerful, then, you know, we want them to be able to maybe one-shot from a 5-star jet, but we want it to a point where, like, people are, am I really going to one-shot a build bot? Do I really want to do that? Yeah, we want to make it hard. We don't want it. If you're in Prime League Hard now, and you haven't got a team of 5 stars, then sorry, but you're going to struggle. It's going to be that hard. Hammer Tails put damage like anti-air will be increased. I think damage is the marker to be buffed here. Building HP is too connected with what needs to be nerfed now. Outposts and combiner health should definitely be. I agree about outposts and combiner health should definitely be increased. Definitely. I think we have in some effects as well. And I think that the problem with anti-air is that if you can buff anti-air as much as you want, but then if people don't use jets, then it's a waste. You know, you're making it just you know, don't really work. Maybe when they one-shot something, they are EMP in the air, stay in the air. No, well, that's going to be hard to program. That's going to be really hard, isn't it? So, yeah. Nick Langyates, everyone agrees track cell power being after break it out in paper to combat it, but doesn't make it strong enough after breaking it is a buff, whether it's health or shield durability. Well, the problem is, don't forget that no matter what outpost bot you put in there, people drop a combiner and negate it. So my idea was to increase the range of the force field disruptors to make them a lot higher. And I think that would make it better, along with the 7,000 health. Again, this is just in Prime League Hard. In your level, if you're in Gold or you're in Platinum, nothing will change, really. I think that Cyber Hard will change a bit. Prime League will be a bit easier than what it is now, but Prime League Hard will be a lot harder. So basically, you know, Prime League will be, you know, maybe what it is now, maybe. So if you used to go in Prime League right now without going on hard, nothing will change. But Prime League Hard is going to be for the elite players. And we want to see people dropping points. We want to see top players dropping points. That is the idea behind this. We don't want to see these 11,800 scores anymore. We don't want to see these wars where you can drop one base maybe. 5 people drop one base, and all of a sudden then the war's lost because 5 people have lost one attack. You know, it's crazy. You know, it's crazy. 100% on both stats for outposts and beacons. Yeah, I agree actually, Will. I've said that. I think that one of the effects we have got 100% combiner, but then someone said, do we really want to just be hammering away at a combiner for like 45 in 1 minute? I mean, it already take a while to go down. Where's the fun in that? I mean, I agree with you. I agree it should be. But that was the counter argument. It's a bit boring just having thinking in. Yeah. This is a playtest. This is what happens. Allow shield generators shield triple range. I like that. I like that idea actually. Well, that's not been brought up. The shield generator range increased. That's a good one. I'll take that one actually. Actually, I'll give you credit for it. That's a pretty good one that no one's considered yet, I don't think. And again, this is why I discuss these things on my stream so that people can, put these ideas forward. But I do like that idea. But then again, we're doing that through build bots, I think, as well. But yeah, that's another one option as well. SG Soundware's put, yeah, the most logical option is to raise defense HP and DPS so they can't get one shot. There's no way to counter fire without making it totally useless. Well, they won't be useless because what the idea is, like I said, I mean, everyone's seen the battles that I've done where literally I've finished a commander on Prime League in hard and I've finished with 1 minute left and 40 ability points left over. So what are the apes going to do to make me use at least another 20 ability points? And what are they going to do to make me slow down? You've got to slow me down and make me use more ability points. Raise HP. That's the only way forwards. Is raise HP. And obviously DPS, which increases damage, which means you might use your healers more, which reduces your DPS. Will people go 3 healers? Will people use tracks a lot more? But then tracks might be after you spam, which costs more points. But then if you're comboing, I mean, we talked about this for hours. I mean, I think it was about 12 hours we were constantly talking for. I've been timed out again. For what? Timed out? You've been timed out? What do you mean timed out? If you're talking about base designs, then people will time out, yeah. Silverbox put, you could also drop blades back, which makes the base attack itself. Yeah, if increased DPS is going to happen, but obviously then we're going to have build bots, which means that they probably won't be able to be hacked. So then, yeah, you can increase the DPS as much as you want, and then put your build bots in certain places, which starts off getting hacked. So yeah. Risku's put, Risku, yeah, I'm not in favour of messing with cyber hard mode. I did ask Dale about this, and the idea is that I think right now they're linked together, but we said we want to separate them. The hard mode in cyber can't be the same as the hard mode in Prime, because then you'll find it goes cyber, Prime League, cyber hard, Prime League hard. So I said to them, that is a deal breaker. That is going to be a deal breaker. If they add in, you know, if they add in the hard mode to cyber, that's a deal breaker. Allow the combiner being to have 2 combiners in it. That's a lot of programming, though. That's a lot of programming. Righteous says, so you can 300 in cyber, but not prime. Yeah, I think that if you could do cyber hard, you could probably do Prime League. And Rescue again has put, we were told it would only be in Prime mode hard. Well, yeah, I think there'll still be a hard mode for cyber, but yeah, it'll be, I think, maybe even a bit easier than what it is now. We don't want to, listen, we don't want to mess with anything Prime League and below, even Prime League. We don't want to mess with Prime League. We don't want to mess with cyber. In Prime League and cyber, I think the war participation rates are about right. They're okay. In lower leagues, not so much. We need to work on something for lower leagues. I don't think it's just making the rewards better. I think it's evening it out so that the problem with I hear a lot of is that in Gold League, base 1 can be a HQ 14 and base 5 is a maxed out base. And that's not right down in Gold League. So we need some way of changing that up so that HQ 17 maybe are not apparent in that lower leagues. But yeah, we're not messing with anything else other than Prime. This discussion is all for the top 10 teams in the game, and that's how hard we want to make it. We want to make it so if you're not one of the top 200, 300, 400 players in the game, you're not going to be doing Prime League hard. Prime League, yes, but not Prime League hard. And for those that have already got used to Prime League hard and go, oh, that's not fair because I'd be able to do Prime League hard for the last year. Well, sadly, it's like a pendulum. It's literally like a pendulum. So that's where it's balanced. And what we find is that the pendulum goes towards attack, and then the pendulum goes back towards defense. Then attack, then defense. So it's been literally like that. It's been an attack for the last year. We need to swing it back the other way now. We need to. Doja, put a random factor in the damage. No, we don't like random damage. We need something we can rely on. You need to be able to plan your attack out. Try have a max base in Cold League at base 1. I can believe it. But I just put, why not do a Prime League Elite? We talked about this as well. The problem with that is, if you do a Prime League Elite, that's a different league. And then all of a sudden, there's 8 teams in it. And then them 8 teams have got to match up. If not, you could be sat around waiting. And you could be a hard mode. Well, then why not a hard mode? Why not a extra super hard mode? Why not an extra super ridiculous crazy hard mode? Just hard. It's called hard mode. It should be hard. At the minute, it's a bit harder mode. Or still easy mode. Let's be honest. It's not hard for the top players. So, yeah, that, again, the slogan is, hard should be hard. Yeah, the Elite Prime League thing is not going to happen. Definitely not. I don't think a single top guy was like, that's a good idea because we're going to be waiting around for ages. We've already got hard mode. It's already called hard. Vincent Lee's put the do war elimination mode. I disagree with that completely. Because the problem there is that they'll have to decrease the effects and make it easier. They'll have to. Because, you know, if they decrease, I mean, like, I've got 5, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. Oops. 18 5-stars at the minute. Maybe 10 of them are war worthy. Out of them 18, believe it or not. And if I eliminated my top 8 bots that I war with and then tried warring with my next 8, I would lose. No doubt. I would definitely lose. And, you know, there is some people out there that, you know, have got good teams that have not got that many bots that could do that. And I did a poll, actually, on Facebook about elimination mode. Should we do it? And it was an overwhelming no. So, yeah. Grant has put an easy mode. Well, yeah. You can have an easy mode, an easy mode. And it just gets a bit silly, doesn't it, really? Let's be honest. Maybe in hard mode, base like a raid base. No, I said that. I hate raids. I'm not a raid fan at all. I know some people like them, but I just find raids really monotonous. Windblade's put a good point there. We'll say team that wins in Cybertron needs to be made to go to Prime. Auto promote. Yes, I agree with that. I think there's too many teams that are Prime League worthy that camp out in Cyber. I'm going to call them out, the chickens. I'm going to call them out. Yeah. They need to progress. They need to carry on now. They need to jump on. And, you know, they need to get in Prime League and play at their right level. If it's the same in every other league, then why not? Make Prime League auto-promote without a doubt. Yeah, Risky's put manager promotion in Prime League is 2 years overdue. Definitely agree with that. I definitely agree with that. Everyone should play at the right level. If they want to buff Jetfire, we don't want to buff Jetfire. We don't want to buff any bots. Well, we do. Yeah, we do some. I mean, the good bots. We definitely want to nerf bots. We don't want to affect lower league. So changes to bots is not going to happen. Forget changing to bots. Forget increasing damage. Forget increasing ability cost. We don't want to do that for any other league. So we can't change the bots. We've got to change the bases. And we're only allowed 5 effects. Because people are like, oh, add this and add that and add that and add that. Well, no. We can't add everything. So... SG Soundwaves hit the nail on the head what we're really going with. For hard mode, give Outpost and Combiners full HP. Yep, that's happening. In fact, more HP and more DPS. And give every defense a huge buff for hard mode only. That's the idea, is that we're going to do it across the board on hard mode for Prime League. That every defense will get a 30% HP increase. So all of a sudden, a missile launcher would be 6,000 HP. So yeah, Jetfire would still be able to kill that. But a cannon would now be 7,600 HP. No, more. 8,100. A shock tower would be 9,500 9,500-ish. An MDS, 6,700 would be about 9,000 HP. 9,000 HP for an MDS. So think about this, 9,000. So if I took him, so that's 8,000. So I'd need to do 1,200 damage. So I could use a combiner. I could use a boost. I could use hotspot. It doesn't need a massive combo where you're going to need 16,000 damage, but doing about 30 to 40% HP means you got to do some damage first. But that means then that you can't go with your combine and just go, oh, I'm going to clear that section there. Be like, well, hang on a minute. I want to clear that section, but I can't one-shot them if I don't, so I need to do damage there. Well, hang on, I've got a bit of a choice here. Do damage to that section, or do I help my one-shots? Again, it's adding strategy to the game. That's the idea behind it, and that's where we're sort of going with things. And nothing's been set in stone yet. I think the first effect will definitely have double, double health on combiners, and it was crazy trying to take them out. And I can really see the likes of Sentius. A lot of bots that do high damage to one target. Maybe not Laser Optimus because he does damage to one target when he goes to other targets, but it will hit outpost bots as well, I suppose. So maybe, but definitely Sentius, definitely Cheetor bots. I think make a bit of a comeback. I think they're really good. High damage bots to one target. Okay, I can still see some people are putting some comments in. Don't want to keep going over all night, but yeah. So many powerful alliances camp lower league, especially when it's Tug of War week. There definitely needs to be something so alliances can't camp leagues. Yeah, sad it is, yeah. Middle count is nonsense. There's no point, yeah. No point in using middle counts. For example, right now, I'm not bragging, but I reckon that I'm maybe in the top. In terms of war scores, I reckon I'm probably in the top 200 people in the game. Maybe, in terms of war scores. My average is 297. I dropped 10 points in a war a while back and dropped 15 because of my phone rang. So I dropped 25 points since being in PsyOps, which is quite a while, or since been tracking it, whatever. But 297 average out of 300, which for me is quite poor. It's usually 300 average. So considering that I'm maybe top 200 or 300 players in the game, I reckon, in terms of wars, and then looking at my medals, I mean, I bet there's most of the chat are higher than me in medals here. So I don't think you can go off medal count. Don't think you can. I think you'll have teams going in there with 30 players, so we have with high level players at level just 30 of them, just to be able to play at lower levels maybe, and then win quite easily because there's less members maybe. You know, it's a workaround. But definitely, I'll pass that on because I see a lot of people saying about force promote. I'll pass it on again to the apes. But yeah. Lots of top alliances can't get in prime because of all the campers. Yeah, that's a good point actually. That's a good point, Action Whale. Yeah, because people are camping out, then they can't win to get in prime. That's a good point. Lock leagues for Tug of War. I don't think you can do that, is it? Because then if you keep winning, no. Because if you lock leagues, if you keep winning, you don't go up. You stay in the same league. Because that's what we're trying not to do in it. So yeah. Alliance campers. I like that phrase as well. Alliance campers. Yes, let's get rid of alliance campers. Grind Times asks, does Cheetor's SA11 stack with Amalgamous? Yes, of course it does. It's the same as his known ability, it's 10% extra, but it's only 10%. It's not really worth it. Okay, well, as promised as well, I want to talk about combiners. Just zoom in a bit so I can get to my combiner lab. So, quick combiner update from me. So we got Computron going to 18. I think this guy's going to be really important. Like we said about DPS increase. As base is increased, but DPS hack is going to be so apparent. So it's unbelievable. So yeah, I think that you know, hack is going to be a crazy part of the game. But yeah, Computron's going to be amazing. So I'm going to level him up to 20 as much as I can. I've got him up to 18. I think I can get him to 19 with a bit more combiner spark. I can't remember how much it is for level 90. It's about 400k, is it? Something like that? 450k. So yeah, I think in a couple more events we can get him up to 19. And yeah, he's going to be a beast. Mechanic is 16. Victorian's at 14. Superior 11. Up max at 7. That's so bad. Omega Supreme at 21. I'll probably take Omega Supreme at 22 once I've got Computron to level, you know, 18, well, 19, 20 maybe. And Defensor 16. So the ones that I mainly use are obviously Omega Supreme for top wars. I mean, that 5-star ability is absolutely crazy. Defensor I use quite a bit. Again, he's got Reflect. ability, which reflects 90% of damage. So that's really good against beam lasers. And then we've got Comptron who hacks. So, talking about combiners and sort of, so let's just, I know we say like we know who's good and who's not. I mean, but we can eliminate this guy right now. We can revisit this when they buff him. But, you know, I mean, his ability, send a shockwave, targets 700% damage to walls, but then 705 damage times 700% is still 14k, so it'll break a section of walls, nearly. At a high level, it'll break a section of walls, but is that really that important? Really, just breaking a section of walls? I think maybe it is supposed for certain designs, but no, not really. 30% movement, 30% damage reduction, and close range splash radius. It's really underwhelming. This is the only ability that's pretty good, is the 4 missiles at lock, which is pretty good on defense, and hence why people put him on defense. But as a bot, really, he's quite underwhelming, so we're not even going to consider this guy, really. Superion. So, Superion, if you're playing a particular league, or if you're playing in a, you know, maybe the Prime League hard mode effect, I mean, its rate does 4860 damage. So at a high level, I think they probably do about 7,000 damage. This, I'm sure someone in the chat, maybe even Grind Time, has got a high level Superior and will maybe be able to say at a high level what this guy does. But if you want to take out a key structure, then Superion is probably the bot to use. I mean, other combiners will rush the target and they'll do damage to the target, but then puts them in an area where they can die quite easily, whereas Superion can do this from range. So if you want to drag the bot, say, to a certain place to fight them safely, because what happens is you drop the combiner, your combiner walks up, and then once the combiner dies, if your combiner is halfway up the base, your bots will keep walking through the base and will meet in a bit of a kill zone. So say you want to keep your bots far away and you want to keep them on a landing pad, then this guy, drop him on the landing pad, you can take a defense out from range. So you can hit it with the death ray, then maybe do a rocket swarm over the top, which was, you know, it's 864 robots to all targets. It's about 1.5k, so it's about 6,000 damage, which will take out most defenses. And this means you can take them out from range. And, you know, it's still a pretty decent combiner now that it's buff. It has a bit of AoE to it as well. So, yeah, I think if you're aiming to battle in a safe place, then this is the guy. Because this is one of the guys that, even though he has a rushing ability, you don't need to. He has a pretty good range on his ability. Next, Volcanicus, for me, this was the bot where you're doing backdoors. Great range on his 4-star ability. So if you're aiming to do a cup and friends or a cup pull, again, this is a great guy for that. Like Superion, you can drag your bots down to the landing pad and use the ability, his 4-star ability, to hit the base from range. So another bot which gives you a bit of a safety in terms of dragging the bots away, in terms of giving them a safe place to fight, or dragging the bot away so your bots can do the backdoor attack. So likes Victorian, likes Volcanicus and likes Superion, definitely use them to drag bots away for a safe place. But yeah, definitely decent. I think they're all decent other than Octus Maximus. Let's go see you. Victorion, Victorion's not as good as she once was. I like the 4-star ability. The Reflect isn't as good as Defensor. It's 75%, whereas Defensor is 90%. The stun is good, but not if you're doing a sacrifice. Don't forget, guys, that a sacrifice with Liege. So what you don't want to do is you don't want to do a sacrifice with Liege and then stun the bots, because then they take a Liege effect, but then they're stunned, so they can't do the damage. So if you're doing a sacrifice Goldier pop with Liege, don't use Victorian. I learned that the hard way. That I did that. I stunned the bots. They didn't do anything. They didn't attack the base. So make sure that you're not using that 4-star ability. But I rarely use this girl in wars anymore. And Risk just put that needs a buff. Yeah, I think that the first bot to have a buff will be obviously Opmax, and then Bruticus, and I think that Menasor and Victorian will probably be next after that, before Volcanicus. I think Volcanicus is actually better now, and is actually, you know, Victorian hasn't aged well because of Defensor, basically. But yeah. Next one we'll look at. We'll look at Computron. So Computron, because he has such low health, I mean, look at there, 58,000 health at 16, 68,000 for for Defensor at 16. So he has really low health, a bit like Volcanicus, but again, Volcanicus can hit from range. Computron's, apart from his rush ability, is very close range. So when you're using Computron, make sure you use his hack ability first. Hack the area, because don't forget, if you hack that area, it's going to take very little damage, which gives him more time to do his combo. And I always get mixed up whether it's the rushing. I think it's the rushing, then the optics. That's right, yeah. So rushing, then do optics. So yeah, always do the hack first. Don't try and use Computron on an elongated base, because you're not going to get very far. His range is still quite short. He doesn't travel very far. So Computron's very good against front-loaded bases. Front-loaded bases with a lot of defenses that are designed to hit your bots on the launch pad as soon as they drop and take out some key bots, because there's so many defenses there. This is the guy to use. You put a Computron down, and he will hack that whole area. And you got to think, because there's more defenses in that area, he'll do more damage. So those front-loaded bases where all the defenses at the front and the resources are all at the back, this guy is king for that. Use Computron by all means. Incredible bot, but just make sure you get that hack off first. And make sure when you are hacking that there's a lot of defenses around you. And then, obviously, like I said, use the other two as a combo. Let's get through the rest. Defensor. Try and use Defensor to take out beam lasers. Beam lasers will pretty much go in one ability use with Defensor. It's quite a good effect to use. So if the beam lasers are at the front of the base, then yes, you can use Defensor quite early. Or the MDS even. If they're not, try and deploy him later. And that determines whether I use Defensor or not. It's where the beam lasers are and where the MDS are. If I'm going to pop the outposts and the MDS and the beam lasers at the back, then I won't use Defensor. His ability is going to be wasted. Yes, you get that shield, but other than that, it's not going to do much. If the beam lasers and the MDS are at the front, I'd probably maybe even use this guy over Omega even, because he reflects all that damage back to him, does a huge amount of damage. I mean, Computron will do more because he hacks, but yeah, front-loaded bases with the MDS and beam lasers, definitely consider using Defensor. If the beam lasers and the MDS are at the back of the base near the HQ, don't bother using Defensor. You're not going to get great, great value for using him. And as Silverbolt's put, he can one-shot them with his shield. Yeah, exactly. If you get him in any sort of range and use his shield, the MDS is gone. It reflects it all back and then finishes it off with the shield. Pretty much. Maybe it might need a boost sometimes. And then obviously Omega Supreme, which obviously is a great combiner. And I always toy between this guy and Computron. 1 week I'll be like, oh, Computron's the best combiner, no doubt. Then I'll use him to die. Then I'll use Omega Supreme and go, oh, this guy's the best, without doubt. But then I'll use Omega Supreme and I'm like, but Computron did more damage the other day. And I use Computron again, I'm like, yeah, this guy's the best. And I can't decide between the two. They both are in different ways are so good. This guy's so good because of his health. I mean, 73,000 health, you know, it's an extra 5k on top of Defensor. It's an extra, 15k on top of Computron. And it makes a huge difference. Although 15k doesn't sound a lot in essence. It does for the simple reason that the timer goes a lot slower. Don't forget that the timer that sort of starts off slow and goes faster. And you just find that Omega Supreme lasts a lot longer. I can get his 4-star, 3-star, 2-star, all and 5, 4, 3, and 2-star abilities all off, and then usually even get a second 2-star or second 3-star off as well. So you can get multiple abilities off because he's got such high HP. But yeah, with Omega Supreme, I use him a lot when the other base has got Omega Supreme or is against Overlord, because once he dies, then lightning bolts come down, does a lot of damage to bots, and especially when we're going to have the combiners at the double health, then this guy's going to help to do a massive amount of damage. But yeah, this guy's good in pretty much all. But I'd say this guy's especially good if you need to get him in place at a longer range. His range is absolutely incredible. His long range of his rush, the 3-star ability. So I mean, it goes half across the map. So if you want to get close to those beam lasers and those launchers at the back of the map, then use Omega Supreme to get him in range, and then use the 5-star ability in range of the beams, launchers, MDS that are behind the HQ or around the HQ. So yeah, great range for Omega Supreme. And like I said, if you want to get a good range on and get him in position in a good point at the base, then Omega Supreme is probably the bot to use. And I can see then SG Soundwave has put a nerfed Computron. Yeah, damage-wise, he's ridiculous, but health-wise, he struggles a lot. He really does struggle, and that's the playoff. It reminds me of Snapdragon for that reason. Snapdragon's ability in terms of damage is crazy good, but in terms of HP, he suffers. You've got to protect him, and same with Computron. You've got to protect Computron. If you try and I tell you what, just an experiment. If you've got Computron, guys, just go and use his rushing ability, and then see if you can try and get the hack off. Half the time you can't, because the hack takes like 5 seconds to activate. You rush him in, then he rushes in, he goes there, takes damage, damage, damage. You activate the hack, and it goes hack, 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 dead. And the hack's just gone. Doesn't work. It's got to build up, build up, build up, go poof like that, and then the hack starts. So you've got to have a good 5 seconds for the hack to start. So you've got to get him in place and keep him alive for those 5 seconds. And after that, he's dead anyway. It's too late. So although Computron's really good at attack, he struggles on defense. I don't mean defense as in and output. I mean in terms of his own HP. So yeah. And Grindhouse has put that Omega's health at 25 is 80k, which is crazy health. But yeah. But yeah, thanks for joining Action Wales. Heading out. But yeah, cheers for joining us. But yeah, like I said, every combiner has a use. Every combiner has a certain thing in the game in which, you know, in which they can be useful to a certain type of base in a certain situation. Cool. Okay, well, I did want to show a couple of things, actually, on the screen. So we've worked hard for some new notifications, which I'll try and show you on the screen right now. So I thought I'd jazz up the notifications when we get things like tips, when we get super chats. Don't forget tips over super chats, guys. Super chats, YouTube take a massive cut. Whereas tips, I think YouTube takes a 20% cut of all super chats, maybe 30%. Whereas with tips, it's only 5% cut. So make sure that you're all, you know, you're all tipping rather than super chatting. But Grind Time just put as well, he'll be streaming at 5 p.m. So I'm not sure what time that is soon. How long for that stream, Grind Time? I'll give it a plug if you let me know how long from now it is. But yeah, don't forget Grind Time's been streaming on a Sunday night, so go and check that out. But let me just go to this minute. My overlays. Okay, you ready? So, if you were to be a subscriber, it's what happens.
Thank you for subscribing.
So you can see there we've got a new Soundwave subscriber notification. If it is echoing, sorry, that's because it's I've got it up on the screen. It's not meant to echo. It doesn't when you do it, but yeah. Then if you tip, we've got a new tip notification. Bit of a sea spray dance. Then we've got a super chat. Then we've got, yeah, Springer for the super chats. Then if you become a member, oh yeah, and Grind Time just put it's in about, and Grind Time has tipped $5, so there you go. He gets the sea spray dance. So thank you, Grind Time. But yeah, Grind Time is streaming in about 30 minutes, so straight after my stream, guys. If you become a member,
oh, how it pains me to do this.
You get a star screen, and if you purchase some merch, express delivery. I see the writing's a bit off, but I can change that a bit. It's a bit hard because it just keeps doing that. Depends on how big the name is, but hey. Just to show it works. Let's do it again. There we go. Look at that. Pretty cool. So yeah, if you buy any items whilst I'm streaming, if you tip, if you become a member, become a subscriber, anything like that whilst we are streaming, then you get a bit of a cool notification. So yeah. And Dojak has put, where can I find the tip option? I'm pretty sure that is. If not, I could put it in the chat. I need to add this actually onto the thing. I need to add it on. Page setting. Ah, there we go. Copied. And pasted. So if you do want to tip, then that is the tip page where you can tip and it will come up on the screen. So yeah. Yeah, you can go to the about section. I'm gonna put this in the thing that the mods post. Oh, actually, it is already in there. It's already in there. If you look at the post that the mods post up, you can see there it's got become a member, to exclusive perks and rewards, and then it says that as well. I might just shorten that actually, so just to take away the explanations and just put Discord in there as well. But I'll sort out with the moderators, and then we can just post it in the chat, and people can click the links rather than a huge, because it's cutting the messages short, you see, so you can't see the descriptions. So we'll cut the descriptions out. We'll just have the YouTube, the Stream Element tipping link, and Discord in there, and you can just click on it as you go there. Cool. Well, thank you to everyone for joining in. It's really appreciated. Don't forget, we're going to be streaming next Wednesday, where hopefully we'll have the new bots ready. Well, I think they will be for the new event. So we're excited to show them. They've come along quite nicely. And yeah, don't forget to come and join me in Grind Time stream in about half an hour. I'll be heading over there, supporting my good friend Grind Time. And yeah, I will see you next Wednesday. See you next Sunday as usual. See you in Discord. And we will see you around. Alright, go and check out the merch page, guys. Let me know anything you want to change. Anything about hard mode, any questions or anything like that. Hit me up in Discord, of course, anytime. Alright, thanks for watching, guys. And peace out, guys.